Hey, welcome to another episode of Peak Performance Mindset. My name is Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Gerhard Gschwandtner is the host. And today in the bullpen with us, Mario Martinez. And we're going to be talking about time, the challenges of time. So, hey, don't waste any time. Let's get into it. Let's roll.
First off, thanks for having me, Mark. Great to see you. You're always somewhere. I always like asking, where in the world is Mark Hunter at this time? So good to see you, my friend. And I think where are you at? Tucson?
Well, I'm at Gate B2, Tucson International Airport. How's that?
So the subject we want to talk about is time. And time is also part of mindset. Everybody has a different sense of time because, define time. Mark, what does time represent for you?
And if you really think about it, this is something where I've been shifting my mindset. I'm not challenged by time. We're all challenged by time. What I'm challenged by is priority management. Really, what are the priorities I need to be doing? Because you know what, 24/7, I guess we all have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I got to work on my priorities.
We only have so much time in the day, and we're pulled away from our business lives, our family lives, our personal pursuits, our passions, health, mental breaks, those types of things. And oftentimes I feel like, well, how about this? It wasn't but a couple days ago that a good friend of mine by the name of Gerhard Gschwandtner called me at 11:53 my time. And I said, it is 3-something your time or 2-something your time. A, how did you know that I'd be awake? And B, why are you crazy enough to be working at the same time that I am? The issue that I think that everybody has, is you become so overwhelmed. And how do you work through the overwhelmingness, that feeling, so that you're not doing nothing, but you actually are accomplishing something in order to be able to sell more, do more, accomplish more, hit your mental, emotional, or spiritual goals, whatever that might be. And that's really hard. It's really hard to do.
Well, I think that the other challenge that you didn't mention yet is how to be really in the present moment, which is the time frame that is NOW, now. And a lot of people live in the past. They carry a lot of past experiences within the present moment, or they worry about the future. And the mindset we want to have is be 100% in the present moment and experience what is at that time.
The only thing that I found that allows me to expand my time is my attitude. When my attitude towards what I'm doing, the attitude towards what I want to accomplish is in the moment, is in the groove, like you said, focused, it is amazing how much more I accomplish. Now, does that expand my time? No, but it does make my time far more productive.
What I have found is on a daily basis, when I walk into the office, which is about 100 feet away from my house, when I walk into this office every single day, I've got to prioritize what I need to do. And here's an interesting rule of thumb that I've come up with. As I start documenting all the things that I know that I need to do, somehow, some way, automatically, the things that I need to do in the priority that they need to be done in somehow happens to come out almost every single time as number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way down. And sometimes I've had this entire page filled up. And it just happens. It's not like I'm sitting here saying, okay, what do I need to do first? I literally put the pen to paper and say, just start writing all your to-dos. And your mind automatically, if you start really working through, like, what do I need to do? And just start letting pen to paper come out. Then all of a sudden you'll see that you've got a list and you don't need to reprioritize that list, generally speaking.
The other important part that we need to discuss that concerns everybody, which is how to achieve a balance between business life and personal life.
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, I will tell you that the solution did not come from me. The solution came from my wonderful, amazing wife, who had to have a level set conversation of, I recognize that you are launching a new company. I recognize that you are merging together 6 different companies. I recognize that the weight of the world is on your shoulders, but you cannot sacrifice the family. You have to take those moments and not defend them. And you have to listen to that and say, obviously it's a big enough a problem that it's affecting family life somehow, some way. Now, secondarily, I will say that my oldest, who's 7 years old, said, "You're always on your phone and you're not spending time with us." Now, that's an eye-opening issue, right? I mean, that's a big mistake. And if they feel that way, you have to figure out what the right solution is. So, I didn't say to my wife, well, this is what I think I should do. What I said was, what do you think I should do? How can I solve this problem? Because clearly I'm out of control. Clearly I have a problem, right? And the answer was, between the time that you get off of work, which the cutoff time has to be 6 o'clock. You work from home. The cutoff time has to be 6 o'clock. From that time to the time that the kids go to bed, which is 8 o'clock, and the time that you spend time with me, which I want to go to bed by at least 8:30, the latest 9 o'clock, because she does not want to. She's not a late person like me. It's got to be all about us. So this thing right here has got to be left inside your office, and it's got to be about devoted attention and devoted time, so that nobody feels like you're taking away from the family. And I guess my valuable message is you need to ask the other person or the other people, how are you doing?
How many hours do you devote a week to exercise and keeping physically fit?
Physical fitness is a big 0. It's not healthy. It's not okay. So one of the things that I started doing was last week, I said, you know what? This platform called Zoom technology allows me to do video collaboration. I'm going to do my video calls, but I'm going to walk during those video calls. And at a minimum, I'm not going to be in front of my computer. I may not be able to show you what I need to show you, but I do need to get some exercise in, and it's not healthy to do it any other way. So
I think it's a wonderful idea. I do the same thing. Every time I have a phone call, I get up and I walk, and I get my 11,000 steps a day religiously every day. Mark, what is your habit? How do you balance work and family and health?
But I find I make much better decisions when I allow myself to be much more balanced. Now, back to this whole personal and professional. Yeah, I work probably 60, 70 hours a week. Drives my wife nuts. I'm privileged. The kids are gone. They're off the company payroll. But you know what I also do is whatever I'm doing, I'm in the moment. When I'm with my wife, when I am with my kids or with their spouses, I'm in the moment. That is the most important, critical thing. Our customers expect us to be in the moment with them.
So there's something that I read about Warren Buffett where he actually schedules a meeting with himself where he just sits there and thinks. And I think it makes a lot of sense. What I learned by getting a Fitbit is going outside, going for walks when it doesn't rain. And when you walk, all of a sudden your brain sort of sinks and you get better ideas and you get more creative. And I think that we need to schedule more time with ourselves where we check in. And another one of the things we do in our Peak Performance Mindset training program is to teach people how to do that mindset reset where you spend a minute just focusing on yourself, on breathing in and breathing out, and then associating that with letting go of all your tensions. And within a minute or so, you can do a reset and you feel different. So it's not a time management technique, but a self-management technique.
Peak Performance Mindset training, we talk about breathing and we talk about helping yourself to relax. I was in another sales conference, and teeing off of what we talk about in the Peak Performance Mindset training is the length of time for breathing techniques that help to actually relax your body and reset. And it was Joy Baldridge who was talking about the 4-4-6. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, release for 6. And if you do that and you're like, and you do that for 4-4-6, it like really helps to just calm and relax. And it helps you to get back on track with what you need to do, especially when you're under deadlines, especially when you're stressed out, and especially when you feel the work piling on. So to your point, Gerhard, in terms of the mindset of how to deal with some of these time-based challenges that we have, they're there. It's going to happen. They're not going away, but helping yourself to work through them and prioritize, and then breathing to be able to develop the right mindset to get back on track is I think is very important.
There's one more issue I want to discuss, which is play. I think that play is a very important part of living and being creative and stepping out of the treadmill that is work. What do you do to play, Mark?
Play to me is being able to spend time with friends, being able to spend time with my wife. To me, that's just disconnecting, being able to spend time with my kids. I don't have play. Actually, playing to me is like here in a few hours. I'm in Tucson, Arizona today. I'm looking forward to going out for a nice run, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. To me, that is total play. That's total relaxation. And I'll have the buds with me. But you know what? I'll probably be listening to a podcast, just digressing and synthesizing and coming up with ideas. So, my playing is really rejuvenating.
So for me, playtime is actually my playtime with the children. We wrestle and we wrestle hard. I've got 2 boys, and we're it's like a full on WWF inside my house, right? So I like to say I don't get any exercise, but I really do. But the other piece that is really important and critical, and this is a very hard thing to do, and you've got to find the balance, is it's not just about your children, because one day, to Mark's point, the children will leave. It's got to be time with your significant other. And you've got to be able to continue dating that individual. We've got to take the time on the weekends for us. And sometimes that can become foreign to couples that are in a relationship. But your playtime for me, and I'm okay with this, it's not about me. My playtime is what I'm investing in time with what my wife wants to do and what my children want to do. At some point, to Mark's point, they do grow up, and I'll have playtime for myself then. In the meantime, I think it's all about them, and it's about my wife, especially because I choose to be in the environment that I am from a business profession, and I choose to have done a 6-way merger. I choose to have launched a company and be in a startup company. That's my choice.
We need to be very mindful that the present is a precious opportunity to be you and to stay attached to the present moment and give the present moment priority. Secondly, we need to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important, and only deal with what is most urgent and most important first. And then we need to work on the balance between our time at work and our family. So we keep everything together and prioritize the family first. And I think third, we need to be mindful of the why we're doing that. Because our existence is all focused on the interplay between our personal growth and those around us. And we need to feel integrated, and we need to be clear about the why. Mark, what is your takeaway?
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to put family first. Nothing turns me off more than the person who creates this successful business but loses their family. And I'll tell you what, we see that happening too often today. Not just today, but we've seen it for years. Put the family first. They're going to be with you 20, 30, 40 years from now. The business, who knows where that's going to go. Play the long game. Family first.
In the moment, if I have to sacrifice, it cannot be from your family, from your wife, from your children. And I hear a lot of professionals, they talk about, making sure they're spending time with their children. But, please do not forget, it's just like my boys, I told them the other night, you guys will grow up and you will be out of here. I'm in the conversation with your mom. She and I are talking, and we need time together. You need to go play in your own playroom. It's now mommy and daddy time. And that's very important because one day it's going to be like Mark and his wife. It's just going to be us. And I do not want to be in a position where we're 2 separate people just living and cohabitating in a house together. That's not what I desire. So if you're going to sacrifice from your sleep.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.